Hey guys, so welcome to another driving test route. So this is going to be Middlewood episode number 6. So I'm recording this right immediately after I did number 5. So if you've seen number 5, yeah, I'm wearing the same thing because it's the same day. It's just 2 minutes right after that. So yep, let's go on and see what we can pick up from route number 6. So the time right now is 2:27 on Saturday, the 12th of November 2022. So yep, let's go on and see. I hope I haven't forgotten to do something. Right. All right. Okay, so turning right. I'm not sure what this driver is doing in front, but it seems, there you go. She's noticed me. Oh, he's noticed me. Okay, red car's approaching from the left, but I have enough time to make a safe entrance. I think that's a test going on in there. Okay, white van is far ahead, so I've got safe gap to go through. Okay, interior mirror, start braking. So if you ask me which test route do I prefer between Middlewood and Handsworth, now this would all depend on your driving style and your level of anxiety or anxiousness. But for me, I prefer Handsworth. Oh yeah, then another thing, it also depends on how good or bad you are with dealing with roundabouts. So pretending that I'm very good with roundabouts, then yeah, definitely Handsworth. But yeah, for me, I'm definitely roundabout. I love roundabouts, so I'll do Handsworth. Now, Middlewood is not a problem either. You just have to be aware that there is a lot more to focus on because, of course, like you're driving through this road, and because of that, it's a more built-up area than you would find in Handsworth, which just means you have to pay more attention. You have to pay more attention to signs over here, and as well as pedestrians and every other thing happening around you. So yeah, but Handsworth, not really much big deal about it other than the roundabout. If you can get through roundabout and you can do high speed, so because you're gonna have the national speed limit zone where you can actually do about 55ish per hour, not like this one where it's still, it's national speed zone, but I'm still sort of doing about 30 and between 30 and 40 miles an hour. So yeah. Okay, don't forget, always learn to check your side mirrors before moving off. It is very important because sometimes you could have cyclists or motorbikes or pedestrians or whatever, anything passing through beside you just as you move off, and you don't want to collide together. So at least if they're not an obstruction to you from moving off, then at least you don't make the mistake to make them a problem by steering towards them. So it's very important. So check your side mirrors before you move on. Just your side mirrors. Don't have to check the interior. But I'm hoping that while you're waiting there, you've been looking around anyways, so that you're more aware of what is around you and what's going on around you. So just remember to relax. The driving test is always going to be easier than your lessons, and that's one thing you've got to keep in mind. Your lessons seems very difficult and tense and all that. That's because you're trying to cover a broad range of topics that some might not actually come up on your test itself. Okay, I've got enough space after the box, so I'm going to continue through it. Okay, time to go. You really got to learn to move your head around. Look at what the person beside you is doing, because sometimes you might just save a situation from happening. If you're using your peripherals to feel and sense things going on around you, that's not safe enough. And remind yourself that examiners are not mind readers. So if you're just sensing what's happening around you, then you're not going to be as prepared as actually looking and seeing how serious or how urgent your response is going to be needed. So this route seems so far easier, but we just started it. So now I'm going to be turning right ahead, but I'm gonna remain in the left lane for now, because if I go into the right lane now, then I'm gonna be probably holding up those guys who wants to run fast or faster. So 30 miles ahead, and I'm checking my mirrors from now to see actually how busy situations are behind me, because if it's gonna be too busy and I can see that ahead, I might actually be safer or better off moving into the right. But luckily I didn't actually have to, because the road is marked, so good thing I didn't change. Now you've got to be aware that some of these routes I've never driven on myself, so this is the reason why I think this is actually good. So you can do your test in places you're not used to, as long as you're following the signs you see ahead of you, and you're making use of some of the things that you've been told through your lessons by your instructor, then you should be okay. Should be fine. It's doable. If you know the route, it's a lot better. Of course, you're aware of what to expect, you know what to expect, and you can plan better. But that can also be a disadvantage if you don't use it well, because it's like you've got your mind locked into a situation happening, and that's all you're thinking about. Now, if that situation wasn't actually coming up because maybe the road is changed, then you wouldn't be aware of that, and you're not planning to change what you're doing. So the man will be crossing off by the time I'm turning, so that's fine. Now this is what I mean by checking and making sure you look into the road you're turning into before you actually start turning, so that if there is any obstruction ahead in that road, then you can plan for it. Okay, so make sure position properly, and consider the cars parked ahead of you, so which means I would steer much more earlier. The sun. So I'm turning after this road, so I'm just gonna wait to get here. Look out for the young girl on the bike. Okay, it's clear, and it's clear on the left, so I'm gonna go through. And then there's 40 miles per hour speed limit ahead. So again, you wait to get to the sign, and then you can make progress gently. But then keep in mind, I am turning right ahead in just about 450 yards. So I'll keep that in mind with my speed increasing. Now, you know you're turning ahead and it's going to be the next road. So I'm going to start looking out so that I can find and identify the road ahead of me. Looking at your sat nav from this point and just staring at the sat nav isn't going to help you. So it's just the road ahead over there. And right from this point, I can already see there's a 20 miles per hour sign at the entrance of the road. So that way I am aware of the speed limit on this road even before I turned into it. And then I'm turning left here. Okay, now I can go through. So if you notice there, I actually check my right mirror just before the car gets to me, so that as soon as the car goes past, off I go. I'd rather do that than wait until the car goes past me and then you spend another 2 seconds checking the right mirror. Do these things about one step ahead, just in case if you're having to meet situations like this on a very busy day or in a very busy area. And every time you hold back too long means that you miss an opportunity. It's a very bad road, so slow down and drive through it safely. Okay. And there you go, is another sign, so letting you know this is now a 30 zone. So if you're not looking out for these things as you're coming to the end of your road, you wouldn't have a clue, and this is where you start to drive without knowing what your speed limit is. New zebra crossing ahead. Okay. Right, it's clear ahead, so you can turn. Crossing. This is actually a very relaxed route, so nothing out of the extraordinary so far. So it's probably one of the easiest you'd find in Middlewood for now yet. I noticed today as well that Middlewood tend to have they actually have more routes than Handsworth, and that's obviously because it's quite a big area around the test center that you can get around within 30 minutes of your test. So I'm not surprised at that. So like this area I'm driving on, this test route, I've not been on these roads. I've never been here, so it's actually new to me as well. So keep an eye of that red car. All right, I know where I am now. So we're going to be turning right at this roundabout, third exit, and then left at the next roundabout, first exit. Okay. Now, if you're doing right and right, like I did earlier on, I would rather tell you to use the right lane. I believe maybe the examiner might actually let you know or tell you to just keep right or use the right lane. I've seen that happen in the past. So because the examiner knows you're gonna have to do that quick transition, so they might just tell you to use the right lane to exit. So be careful here. Seriously? That was not necessary, old mum. Okay. And we're back on the 40, so make progress safely. So because we're going to be turning right at the traffic light after Sainsbury's, I'm gonna start preparing to change to the right lane because it is getting a little bit busy now. So if I wait too late to change to the right, I might not get a chance to change lane safely later on, which might then force me to take another route. So after this traffic light, I'm gonna start preparing to change lane. Now, always remind yourself, don't wait until you get a safe chance in your mirror before you then signal, because you might just be waiting for long. So once you've checked, put the signal on. That's what I would do, at least, because then, so that the person behind you knows why you're slowing down, because of course you're slowing down to try and get a chance or a gap to go into the right. But if the signal isn't on, then those behind you might get furious because they don't know why you're slowing down, and they can see that you can actually make more progress. So keep this in mind. Okay. Alright, so there's a chance after the white car. So, there's a chance right now, so I'm gonna move in now. So guys, this is literally again coming to the end of the test route. So episode number 6, this is how quick and simple it is if you happen to be on one of these 2 routes. So just try and relax, really try and relax, and I mean it, like try and relax and you'll be fine. This is not hard. There's nothing extraordinary so far on episode 5 and 6. Maybe 5, a little bit of those bends in that country road we took briefly, but other than that, nothing. And 6 is even much more easier, which is this one. So this is much more easier.